Hello, good day, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone in the world you all are. It's your Blue Archive Gacha Whale beginner artist self-proclaimed and your boy, Tosanyo. Welcome to the art stream. For today, it's gonna be video by fan art from Holostars member, and it's gonna be Machina x Flayon from Holostars English Tempus, in brackets Vanguard. I feel like one of the OGs, they were like, Tempus was like split up in Vanguard and HQ, but now that they're like, after like some members parted, they fused like Vanguard and HQ, so they're like officially Tempus in a sense. For Maki, it's gonna be him as a pilot from Tempus, but gonna try him like in his second outfit, casual outfit. It was like kinda nice. There were also like the butler outfit reveals like a few weeks before, but I think like when there are like more options on like outfits and everything, it's always like cool to like just pick like one that might be that is like more to your taste. Hello Dung Defender, Domenico, welcome to the art stream. And doing video fan art today, drawing Machina x Flayon from Holostars English Vanguard. Welcome. The stream will be roughly about 2 hours, if I like reaching my effort speed, but gonna see like how it will go. If you're not really sure like on the quality of my art, you know, you have like on the left some samples, maybe like myself with the PNG here, and yeah. I know like some people came like for my gaming streams, and I know like Hollow Knight is like a pretty niche but also like popular one. But yeah, I'm an artist, and I do like every week at least like one art stream. So those what you see on the left is like a result of like those weekly grinds, you could like say. Some could like do it daily, you know, but if you do so, you're gonna burn out pretty quickly. Doesn't like mean that you will like stop drawing or like drop quality all of a sudden, but you know, it's just like the motivation. You had like to bring up more motivation in order to like do something to push yourself forward. It looks good? Yeah, thank you. They have like quite something, right? About them. What do you think looks good about them? the like outlines and it looks good. Okay, it will be good, I think. I see. Yeah, the outlines. Well, if you like those kind of outlines, then that's cool. What is your inspiration? Don't understand the question quite. There are like many ways how you can get inspired. Or like in what context you mean that? My inspiration to draw, my inspiration to start a stream, inspiration for drawing like this, the inspiration to whatever this is, you know, the sketch or whatever, the idea behind it. There are like many ways to interpret the question. And those questions are like not necessarily good questions, you know, if it's not clear what you want to like convey. It's still English. I can understand that. I just don't know what exactly do you want to know. Can we narrow it down? Hello, Ramano. Welcome to the art stream. Drawing Machina x Flayon from Holostars English. Tempus, welcome to the art stream. Hello, hello. How to try drawing and go for it? Okay, that's a lot clearer now. Let's say I read manga and watch anime and everything, you know. Started like when I was little, I think. This was like a time where anime got like broadcasted in TV, you know. Like there were things like cartoons, you know, and Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, like those boomer kind of things. Like nowadays there are like a lot more things like Disney Channel, I think, Disney Plus, something like that. And let's say at some point, like one of those other channels where you can like watch cartoons, there were like something that is not quite cartoon, you know, but maybe is, you know, that looked like this was like anime, so like Dragon Ball was like there, and I was kind of like, hey cool, the fight scenes were like looking pretty interesting, you know. This was like more effort than like the slapstick or like the conversation driven comedy, you know. And for me, I think like I was a kid, I don't know, I'm not gonna say like the age, but let's say I was like not that smart at the time. Like I was not smart as a kid at all, and my monkey brain just went like, ooh, Sakuga, it looks epic, and you know, something like that. And yeah, and activated like something in my brain, and then I was like, hey cool. At some point when I went like to our library, I recognized like the art style, you know, because I watched the TV version of like Dragon Ball, and you know, And then I picked like up reading, and let's say with Dragon Ball it opened like the door to like a lot more to me to like read a lot more things, and got out like more manga, more art styles, you know. And I kind of was like, yeah, this is really cool, you know. I want to do that too. And I got like thanks to Toriyama Sensei who created Dragon Ball, you know. This was like my gateway. There's also, might as well, it could be also like something else that could like like made me enter the art world, you know. Can be anything other than Dragon Ball. Like but Dragon Ball was like the first thing that you know, got into my sight. Maybe for other people it's like, oh, I like this girl, she cute, I wanna draw her, or I wanna draw cute girls, you know, or whatever. Do you see something here in the top right? And maybe if not there, maybe like the video description. That should answer your question, Domenico. I know this is an art stream, but there's a certain title for that, you know. On there's a thumbnail. And yeah, I don't want to clickbait and just draw something different. I'm already super low. My goal, you know, or like the purpose of like those weekly art streams is not only to like keep it up with my streams, with my art, you know, to not get rusty at all, but I also have like the goal to draw every single Holo Pro there, and this gives me like a you know, reason to do that. Like they're like those kind of two things. And if I'm like done with that goal, you know, to try every single Holostars and Holo Live member, then from there on I can like continue with like whatever I want to draw. Maybe taking requests, but you know, in the past this was like not really. Like sometimes people come, sometimes, not always, you know. Sometimes people come and be like, hey, can you draw me this? Oh, I can see you can draw. Can you draw me this? That's would like happen in real life too sometimes, when I like sit somewhere, like try my notebook, you know, someone is like passing by, like someone from school, someone from my class, you know, whatever, like in the past. And there would be like questions like this, but I had set my mind for, yeah, I want to practice, or I want to draw a cute girl, you know, something like that. Can you draw me? Yeah, like I got all of those kind of questions, but I know like this is like pretty innocent, you know, it is like your favorite character, you want like to see something, but I already set my mind to like something else. But if I'm done, maybe, you know, but just like when I did like a stream where I actually took requests, like Passepartout stream, you know, this game where you can draw, you're like a starving artist. You're like out on the streets, you know, homeless, and you have like a lot of rent to pay. And then what you can do is like draw some paintings and sell them. And then with that you can secure your, you know, your shelter, your food, your water, you know, like things you need to survive, basic needs. And since I have to be like pretty quick with like drawing, it was like necessary for me to like take requests and be like, okay, if you have like any characters you want me to draw, I'm gonna do that, you know, like in Passepartout stream, like this, like where I took requests. Then I was like asking like that, but the first time was okay. The second time, well, it was like not so good. The third time also, and yeah, and I was like not seeing the point in that anymore. But I also, let's say my reach and the amount of subscribers, they were also not that big, but I had like some regulars here and there, you know. And but at some point, yeah, real life also took over, even though I had it scheduled and stuff. So, you know, things don't always like work consistently. But I will do it at some point again, you know. The streams were like pretty fun to take like actually requests and like cooking something. But it's like, yeah, pretty draining to like set expectations and then those don't get met. So and yeah, it's like just better to not expect anything and have like a plan B, have like my own plans on like drawing characters, you know. I see. It's just a lingo on like, oh, I don't care, or whatever. But in any case, have a nice rest of the day, and bye bye. So, do you want to know some famous anime from Romano? Well, it depends. It can be like overhyped, of course, like oh, this is the peak, you know, like when like something's like really cool animated, has good fight scenes and such, but yeah. That's like really subjective on like if things are famous or if things like peak. Unless it's like, you know, we measure like around the story writing, you know, like something like Orb, you know, or like Vinland Saga, I Have No Enemies. Some people like swear by Arifureta or something, but yeah, it's like okay, good junk food. But like nothing to, you know, nothing too like world changing. Nothing like too deep. I'm like quite of the audience, you know, where I need like a good story. Or like at least like, you know, something. Like putting out the German in me, you know, like just being like direct upfront with what I think about stuff. Some people might not like it, you know, but it's like it has like its pros and cons, but I see like its pros mostly. Well, I'm not watching really that much anime since I have a lot to do during the day. Things that take like a lot of my time. So I can only like watch few episodes in a day, or maybe none, you know. But I'm recently like watching or like like catching up, you know, is like ReZero, the second half of the latest season, and I also like saw a new season's announced. Should like, I don't know, maybe it's like part 3, I'm not really sure. The first part was like 8-9 episodes, the other part makes like season 3 to like 16 episodes, so like other 8, like the other half, you know, something like that. And while it took like a long while for ReZero to come out, the quality is like peak. It's like really good. It's like really different from, for example, like Blue Lock, you know, like the first season was like really greatly animated, you know, it's like the best-selling manga. After like the first season anime came out, and then they were like thinking, okay, we need to like pump out more, and let's bring out the second season as fast as possible, but they would like sacrifice like quality and such, you know. And I'd rather have like them taking more time to make a good product, like with ReZero, you know, and like, you know, what happened with Blue Lock season 2. At least like, except like the last episode. The last episode was like pretty great, but you know, I usually want like an experience that is like from start to end like satisfying, you know. If, for example, let's say the first episode is good, the first arc, you know, and then it's just like plummets from the last episode, you know, like anime, you know, it has like a wonderful start, and then the end is just like a middle finger, you know, to the audience. There are like many animes like that. So yeah, so yeah, like those reviews, you know, anime reviewers, they become more and more important. Just so that you know, okay, I can save time here. You can avoid this, watching this, you maybe take a look at that. It seems like promising, you know. Like that you see some red flags here and there. There's also like the 3 episode rule. There's also like that. Like from this season, I'm not watching much, but I think like the hidden gem of this season, you know, is like those anime made by Sai Games Productions. They had like they made like really great work with like Princess Connect anime. Imamusume, I think they did, you know. That is like also really great. Like second season there. Like all in all, like story and things, and they did like a lot of like anime originals, you know. And I'm watching like one anime original from them that is like called Apocalypse Hotel, and it's placed like in the future, you know, in an apocalyptic setting where like the humanity is like not existing anymore, or at least like let's like question it. Where's like the question if they even survive, you know. Like there is like some virus on planet Earth, and then they couldn't like live there anymore, so they went like into the spaceships and then evacuated to like another planet. But they would like return there at some point, and the plot focus like on a hotel which is like run by robots, you know. And the owner there was like, yeah, I'm gonna leave here once things are like calming down and we can like live here again, we will come back. But since then it has been like about 150 years, 200 years or something like that, and the hotel is like still operating. And it has like some dark undertone, but the anime, how it presents itself, you know, and like introduce the characters, like the robots that are like running the hotel, is like in a pretty charming kind of way, like slapstick comedy, you know. It doesn't like try to be funny, you know, like to do like things in your face, but like builds up like things properly. And this is like kind of the sleeper of like this season, I must like say. And like with how the story, or like how the episodes progress, like the whole kind of thing, more and more like sprinkles on like lore and like information on like how humanity is doing, you know, is getting like dropped there. And also other aliens and such also make their appearance, and it's like I do not really know what to expect like for it, you know. I think I have the idea, but maybe I will get like surprised, you know, like with Orb. You know, I was like thinking, okay, I got what the plot is, but then next moment, okay, maybe not, you know. Like with our new originals, it's like you never know. Like if there's like a manga, you can like check out the original, you know, and then like binge read and like be ahead of it, you know. But if it's like, okay, original work, then you're like in the dark, then you have to actually like wait, commit. But it's like just like very under the radar, like Apocalypse Hotel, since like things like so leveling were going on, you know, second season, you know, fighting animations, like really good junk food, you know, well animated, can't say anything about that. And yeah, not like saying I hate it, you know, it was it's just like, yeah, nothing much has like changed story-wise, but like the animations, you know, and the main character got like more aura, and yeah, people seem to like it, like international basis, you know, like worldwide, something like that. But things like Orb, I pretty much enjoyed. Like the characters, they were pretty good. And they had like some messages there that are like pretty important, like for our current generation, you know. Like, well, how can I describe Orb, really? It's like, plays like an alternate historical timeline, you know? Where it has like the setting that, like, you know, flat Earth theory, you know, something like that. But in this alternate timeline of our world, it's like that the world believes that it's like that the Earth is like in the center of the universe, you know. But when people explored the sky, you know, the night sky, and then they were like having the thought that that the center of the universe is like the sun, you know. And this was like kind of a time where or like in this alternate timeline, there's like the belief that when people try to prove that it's like heliocentrism, that the sun is in the center of the universe, that it's gonna be heretic, you know, there's like a heretic source for that thought, and then those people would get like burned and in front of like the town, something like that, similar to like witch hunts and everything. And it is like quite interesting concept. At first I thought maybe the whole plot was like that, but then it was not quite the core message of everything, you know. It was like the setting, you know, but it's not like quite what it goes for. And it has like similar to JoJo Bizarre Adventure, something like you know, a part 1, part 2, something like that. When main character Jonathan Joestar gives like off the baton to like Joseph Joestar, you know, something like that. That in the same world there can be like multiple protagonists, but just like you follow one and you go to the other, you know, something like that. This was like kind of cool. This was like pretty cool. But the whole strength of it is like the characters and their core message. Or the messages, they're like multiple ones, and really a lot of like interesting interactions between them. And then there's also like Kendo Suda, really great voice. Who's like speaking like Nowak. At least like with Japanese voice acting, you know, like if you have like the Japanese dub on and read like with subtitles, of course. If you're like a dub enjoyer of like English language, then yeah, it's also like okay. Not really sure if there's like an English dub though. I think I watched it on Netflix and then I had like the Japanese on as standard. But yeah. Okay, more than half an hour has passed. Let's hurry up there. But oh boy. It's like kinda weird that like usually I can come off with my own topics. But when like things are like happening in chat, sometimes I do peek at it and then maybe like respond, but there's like not much, let's say like not, the view is like way too bad. Like with some Japanese like streamers, like they are like obviously they're like really good ones, but usually like a lot of Japanese people, they're like no, like a lot of people see them as polite, you know, as like pretty friendly, kind, but they have like a lot of them have like the introverted traits, the majority. And when such a butchy kind of person, you know, like butchy coded person is like streaming to audience, then yeah, like if it's like exactly like butchy, could be entertaining, but if they have like that poker face by like just shutting up, you know, then it's not gonna be that interesting of a stream. I have like regarding some Japanese singers, my favorites, since I really do like their singing voices. Like I have a voice fetish, you know. I do enjoy listening to those voices. When people like sing, they bring out the most beautiful part of their voice out. But when they speak, there's like a different kind of flair to it as well, you know. But it's like how they usually speak. But they don't bring like, they don't show like everyone their true self, you know, in a sense. And when this like one singer did like a stream, you know, like this was like a birthday stream, then they had like some kind of script, you know, on like things to announce, things to like set like a setup and everything. But if it came like to a free chat kind of environment, you know, like like Satsuda, whatever, there was like nothing much that was like interesting about the stream, I must like say. Like the first few moments were like a honeymoon phase because, oh, nice voice and everything, but I was like blinded by that. But if it came like to the entertainment part, you know, it was like not that entertaining to BH. People would be like sending super chats, were like chatting, you know, yatta, omedeto, and waku waku suru, something like that, with announcements and such, but you know, it's like not as interesting what there was like going on. It could have been like a 20-minute stream, but dragged like on for 90, like until the 90 minutes marks, and then yeah, it was kind of like eh, but yes. Oh, I'm gonna read chat. Atta. Oh, I'm gonna read the super chat. No, something like that. And this is like kind of a filler, you know, but usually you do those kind of things like by yourself time to like think about something. But it was like the most of the times like, yeah, it was like not much, to be honest. But I imagine, but yeah, this is like also like the thing with like Japanese artists, you know. They might be like skilled in like their, you know, in like drawing. Singers can also be like skilled with like, you know, their control of their voice and everything, but if it just comes like, to social interactions, they're like pretty nerfed. It seems like pretty much they like traded all the social interaction skills, the skill points from there to like, you know, they did like a specialized build, okay, full art build or like full singing build, you know, but they didn't put any points in like conversational skills or something like entertainment, you know, or like being able to like do jokes or whatever. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, you can, yeah, I think it's kind of like understandable, you know, like with Japan's culture, it's like not necessarily the fault of like the person themselves, but man, I do like see when you just rely on like your audience, it's not gonna like work, you know. You have to like actually bring out something on your own to be able to do something. And to be honest, like in my first year of streaming, I kind of like relied on that too. I was like a little bit more introverted, you know. So I'm a victim of that a little bit. But yeah, things went like forward after, you know. You do like some mistakes here and there, but if you look back at it and you know, take this as a lesson, then yes, good things can happen. If you cringe at your past actions, self, works, whatever, if you cringe, it means you have grown as a person. Hello Tosan, are you not a detective? No, I'm an artist. End of the conversation. In any case, hello fairs guys, welcome to the art stream. I'm trying Machina x Flayon from Holostars English? Tempus. Welcome, welcome. Today I'm an artist. Today I'm an artist. But okay, this is like pretty bad in the case of like Japanese streamers. They read chat, responded to it, silence. Because no follow-up or anything. So you have to carry it on your own to be able to keep up the flow. You can be like silent maybe for 1 minute, 2 minutes maybe, but you have to like keep up the flow somehow. Like some filler words like etto, anosa, you know, nanka, nankasa. No, it's like things like that. I also like don't have that much. So you kind of have like to keep up the momentum or like talk about something. But yeah, or maybe like try to make it out more, you know. But at some point this leads like to like different direction. Sometimes I do like to try extra hard to be like those Japanese streamers, you know, like socially awkward and like not being able to like continue like from, you know, like the, what do you call it? It's not sample. Like they give you a pass, you know, where you don't utilize out of it. Like in soccer, you know, they give you the ball, you know, they pass you the ball, and then it's your turn, but then you don't do anything. A lot of Japanese people are good at that, at doing nothing. But in my case, my thoughts, they are there, and I do let them out. You know, I can't really contain it at all. Maybe if I put on the mask, you know, if I'm like, be a good boy, you know, that's like usually what I try, you know, to do if in real life. That I'm like a good boy. Be like a functioning member of society. But once I'm on my own, you know, I can kind of reach out from like the exhausting interactions and just be myself. And it's like what you see for the most part. Sometimes I like more different, more true to myself than on other days. But yeah, let me see. This is okay. But sometimes it's like, it can like go pretty crazy on like how much people reveal about themselves. Like Flayon here, for example, he did some crazy things, but I think like he's like pretty innocent, you know, similar to like Haka. Like, he has base taste, like Flayon here. Like, he plays like eroges, you know? He has shared like his favorites and such. But most games, you know, most of those eroges are like in the on the fields of like, you know, like Tsukihime, you know? Maybe like Saya no Uta, you know? He likes anime Evangelion, you know, ReZero, like things where like the protagonist is suffering. And those games that have like those bad endings, you know, they're like pretty interesting. They can be like pretty interesting. And let's say like that Flayon is like a boy who has like some struggles as well in his life. And then he kind of like resonates with his characters, and then like say they saved him. But you have to be a certain age to be able to read like, you know, Tsukihime. So I think like this help came like pretty late. I do like watch some of his streams. So I'm like, I didn't like pull it somewhere out of a clip or whatever. I think like nobody would have clipped that. And Holostars usually are aimed towards the girls, you know? But I think like a lot of the pros are also like watching them, you know? It's like not necessarily like, yeah, we are like Nini Sunny that are like, you know, it's like fan service and everything, but it's actually like for the pros. And I'm like a Holo Pro as well. No, I'm not a Holo Pro, I'm not a Holo Life member or something, but I'm just like, yeah, I'm a pro, I support my boys here, you know, something like that. They're all like gold mines, to be honest, like in like what they bring out. Some are like more unpolished diamonds, of course, but there's a potential. And if it went for Yago, man, it would be over for them, I think. Yago's like MVP here. He should have been the Holostars, kind of. But yeah. Pretty busy man. Pretty busy man. I like the crazy things like Flayon did. I think like I told the story before. But basically like he played the eroge on stream. Not the all ages version, you know? Actual, you know, the actual thing. Like the way the developers intend you to play the game. There are some clips out there. So like the most outrageous things are getting clipped, but like those smaller stuff, well, you just watch the whole thing, you know? Something like that. Since you need like context for those. Oh gosh, I can't draw classes. Specific kind of classes. yeah, I think like I should like watch the streams at some point again. It has been like, well, since I think like about 2 years since I actually watched him. Like some of his Statsu Done streams. The BU streams I watch all of them. The 3D streams I also watch all of them. Actually, in that case I watched his streams last year, like his 3D stream at least. He did like his he had like intergalactic battle, you know. And he even like piloted his mecha, the Archeress. Like something like that. Yeah. He's like the pilot there, you know. And he has like a mecha and stuff. If it comes like to any action scenes, then yeah, I think like his vanilla form will not be enough. I actually have to draw like the mecha too, and it's gonna be like, no, just like theoretically, if you were to do anything cool with him, then it's just like him being in the cockpit and then looking like, you know, having a cool kind of glare, whatever. Be like, ugh. But if it's just him, yeah, I guess like I can do something funny. And since he, like his character design, you know, it's a cute boy. He has like the cute boy vibes. This style can work for him, but I think like I'm gonna make the head a lot more oversized, I suppose, to make it like effective. Not really sure. It's like my first time drawing him. I must like say, I will like struggle a bit, but I hope I will be like done quick enough. But yeah, this week is gonna be a little bit dry with my streaming, I would say, and like next week as well. I'm gonna actually take a break, you know, like the first one in a long while. I will still do the minimum streams of like, the minimum of like 3 streams in a week, you know, like next week. But it's just like that I will take a vacation and like actually travel somewhere and go there with other peoples. I have like off enough in my streaming schedule, you know, like the thing of like recovering my MP, resting my voice, resting my stamina, you know. I rest a lot since this is like a good way to like fight against burnout. Just like don't be active, but be passive about things, you know. So things like marathons, endurance and everything are like things I rather avoid. And then we will have a healthy Tosan like in the next stream waiting for you. If I were to like use my strongest attack, you know, it's right in the beginning, well, it's gonna be then it's over. Then I will need a big cooldown, you know. But the idea of like the ultimate attack, the special technique, you know, is like pretty cool, but I do like see there's like a drawback, and yeah, even if you do like continuously like a normal technique, you know, it does exhaust you. I do like in games, for example, that they have like some kind of stamina bar, like Dark Souls, you know, like when you do a swing, when you roll, when you block an attack, it takes stamina away. So you have to like plan your moves properly, you know. It can be like pretty... It can be pretty alluring to just like spam all your attacks and hope the enemy dies from that. Like say, let's say a 3-hit combo. But safe if you just like strike once and then like roll away, like, you know, roll in, roll away, whatever. Dodge roll. Since after they receive an attack, they might like do that counter attack, you know. A lot safer it is when you like strike from the distance, but there's also like a really huge amount of startup, you know, when using a spell or like bow and arrow, whatever, you know. Like with bow and arrow, you need like to aim, right? And then it does like different amount of damage if you fully like draw it, or just like half draw it, you know. So there's like different level of strengths, for example, like with a bow and arrow. Like in Oblivion, for example, there's also like, or like Elder Scrolls in general, you know, like if you use like bow and arrow. If it's just like a gun and just aim, bam, 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 you know. But there's nothing like really instantaneous damage unless it's like a melee attack, you know. The melee attacks are much faster than like the ones from distance. I think like only like the crossbow, you know, like in Dark Souls, they can like shoot immediately. But then after you shot it, then you have to reload. This takes a little bit of time. If you're like pretty far away, if the enemy, for example, is like pretty far away, then you maybe have like enough time to shoot a second time, a third time, you know. And there's like not only like a single shot, sometimes there's like, you know, those are like where you can like shoot 3 at once, like those kind of things. Like the same crossbow like Guts has, like those kind of things, you know. Like Dark Souls like inspired by like Berserks, you know, like all the dark vibes, the monster designs, the weapons, you know, is like really much inspired by it. And when like Kentura Miura sensei, like the Berserk author and artist, like the creator of it, you know, when he became a legend forever, I hope you know what I mean. Yeah, the Dark Souls community did like, or like also the Dark Souls developer did there something of a Easter egg, you know, like as to honor the creative mind that inspired Dark Souls to be Dark Souls, you know. There was like something like that. But yeah, why did I talk about it? About Dark Souls all of a sudden? Oh yeah, because of stamina bar, you know. That I like use up my stamina and everything. That I can burn out. To be honest, the first Dark Souls I ever played, the only Dark Souls I ever played, is Dark Souls 2. A lot of people have like that bias against it, you know, that they don't really think it's a good Dark Souls game. It's like the worst, some people say. But I think like it's a pretty good game. It's a Souls game, you know. Peak Souls 2. It's peak. Okay, I also played Bloodborne, but like Dark Souls, you know, Dark Souls 2 is like the only thing I ever like played intensively. Bloodborne was like maybe when I was like visiting a friend, you know, and they had like, hey, do you want to play something in console? I was like, yeah, why not? And then, yeah, well, what about Bloodborne, you know? And then yeah. Bloodborne plays like pretty differently than like Dark Souls, you know. Bloodborne is like pretty fast, pretty aggressive, while in Dark Souls it's like more important to play patiently. Yeah, speaking of like Souls-like game, I think like when I actually like watched Flayon, it was like either him playing a visual novel and voicing it. And one time I saw him like with Shinri together, you know. I think like for Nekopara, boys, no, not boys, girls version, it has like, instead of like the cat girls, like the cat boys there. I remember that. And then when he played like this one Souls-like game, but like with handsome anime boys and girls there. I don't know, Code Vein? Yeah, Code Vein it was. I remember that one. But it was just like a casual gaming stream, I think. In those kind of games where you like focus on the gameplay, story, you can't like yap that much. But there were like a lot of opportunities where he could have yapped, like chatting stream, you know, like talking about something interesting, or maybe like explaining what his goal is, whatever, you know. It was just like, it was like a 2-sentence, 3-sentence kind of thing before I like focus on the fight. But yeah, I mean, like, it still works. I don't know, like, but when he played like Trouble Days, this was like what got clipped like pretty hard, like which got like farmed by clippers. This was like where he popped more off. And I think like recently that I saw like him collabing with like Shiori as well. It was like cool that Shiori did that thing. Like collabing with the boys. I remember like a clip, not really sure like about what anymore. I think like who's top, who's bottom, something like that. I remember. I remember like that Shiori's evaluation of Flayon is that he's like a bottom in every kind of like pairing with the boys, with any of the boys. I guess I can see that. It has not really established, I think, you know. Like, you know, like some fans, they do like ships, you know. Like with members. Sometimes it's just like initiated by the talent themselves, you know, like things like Takamori, or like Okakoro, you know, Okayo and Korone. Things like that. And then it's just like up to the fans to like do more with that concept. But with stars I never really see anything with that. It's just like the bros, sometimes bromance, but there's nothing really like that. I think like for me like Axel is like the straight run pretty much. With the other boys, there are like some hints of that. Oh well, whatever. You know, I think like I saw like something of a meme, you know, like why can't you be straight? Why can't you be into boys? You know, like when it's kind of like the whole life members, you know, since like they were shipped with each other, you know, and people like you know, the demographic, you know, the audience are like usually like you know, when like idol cultures like there, it's usually like the target audience are like those are like otakus, you know, nerds like us, right? There's also a female audience, of course, but they're also like there to like watch the girls. I mean, like everyone likes cute things. But yeah, the thing like work with DG Sanji, you know, like with the boys there, but I think like the problem is like the marketing there mostly. Why like Holostars didn't like pop off that much, but they're still doing good, you know. It's just like the marketing. And the thing is like, if things stay like small, there's like more breathing room, you know. As long as you stay off the radar, you have like a lot of room to like breathe and prepare. You don't get too much pressure on you, which was like the case of like Same-chan, right? There are always pros and cons, you know, with having attention, with like gaining attention. Do I do it or do I not? I'm getting a phone call. It's like a scam call, to be honest. I could like pick up and be like, F you, you know. But yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Let's be a good boy. Let's focus on like drawing. I'm like more than 30 minutes, no, more than an hour in, okay. I'm not really sure like how you can stop those calls and like how do they get the information at all, you know. What I do is like blocking the numbers. Sometimes if the stars align where I can pick up, you know, then yeah, I can like say, I can like swear at them and then like exit the call, you know, and then block, you know. But I don't really know how can you stop them to call you at all. The ways like I saw at least were like needed like some complicated setup. But also I remember like some of those, you know, like sponsors on like certain videos I like watched. That they can kind of like, you know, if there's information about yourself on the network, they can help you to like delete that or something like that. But I'm not really sure, you know, like with sponsors, is that legit, you know? Not always. Things like VPN, yeah, you know, but it comes like to, I think like things like BetterHelp, like some people like said, this is like not really good, you know, or like ZocDoc, you know, like get an appointment with any doctor that's like in the US, you know, you can like get it online, that's like getting more comfortable, like things like that. Like I heard like those were in the end like not that helpful. And I remember also like a Mudan video, you know, like he did in the past work together with the Trash Taste boys, you know, and he does like the video editing. He also like tested like some of the sponsors, the products from the who like sponsors Trash Taste, and like the results were also like, yeah, pretty average. It's like, it's not like godlike how they promote it, you know, it's just like bad or like okay, you know? It's like nothing like as great as they promote. I'm not really like sure, you know, like if there's one thing that can help you with like my situation, if that's like even like legit. Sometimes you get like advertisements, you know, like if you leave a digital footprint, you know, like with whatever you like typing or like talking about, you know, like some people, some phones, it was a P, not people, not P for people, like P for phone. Some phones can like listen to what you can say, what you say, you know, let's say you talk about, yo, I have a cat, I want to give a cat food or whatever, and then if you go like on Google, you know, then it's like, or like wherever, you know, where there are like ads like showing, you know, then it shows like something like cat food, you know, or like, oh, here's the nearest store nearby there, you can buy their cat food, something like that. And those are like things you cannot not really like show on stream. It just doxes your location, you know. And like shows the nearby stores and like online stores, you know. And if like online stores, like maybe like something local, you know. In Germany there was like something like eBay like trending for a while. Now it doesn't exist anymore. It has like a different name now. But you know, like something like that. Depending on what footprint you like leave, you know, whatever you like search in the past, then things like pop up there. It can be like good and bad, you know, it has pros and cons. But it can get like annoying. if your mind is getting feeded, you know. And then it's like, yo, we needed this in the moment. Like all people that get like also already like scammed, for example, like they have like, let's say like back problems, you know, they're like struggling, they do everything what the doctor says and things, and then like all of a sudden, hey, I heard you have a problems, let me introduce you my product, you know. And then oh my gosh, how did you know we had like back problems and everything? You're like a lifesaver, you know. But it's just all about of the digital footprint that I leave, you know, something like that. Like most of the times, like very old people or like the very young people, you know, like fall for that. But I think like once I get older, man, I'm gonna also be like a victim maybe, you know. Can't keep up with the meta of like those scammers. But yeah, I'm not like, I can like tell if I get like scam calls, you know. I don't really receive many phone calls anymore in my life. Like since like 2 years or something. I'm in a situation like where I'm like stable and everything, and the only ones who would like contact me is my family, usually. But if it's like an unknown number, you know, then I'm not gonna reply to it necessarily. You know, you can copy the number and then paste it into Google search, and then surprise, surprise, warning, pay attention, scam call, you know, very unpleasant. They try to sell you something, you know. Like, it can be like pretty helpful, like in this kind of way. To be able to like copy and paste. But man, it's annoying. But yeah, maybe I'm gonna take a look on like what I can actually do there without like closing the door like for other family members. You never know if there will be an emergency, you know. Okay, let's color. I feel like I can do more with the line weight, but better done than perfect. I'm not the kind of artist, you know, who is like taking all that time to like make it like, you know, perfect, whatever. I can't do that anymore. I think like, you know, when I look like at my older artworks, some of them are like pretty good. Some of them are pretty good. But I had like a really perfectionist kind of mindset there. When it was like not up to my imagination, what I was like thinking, you know, it should be like like, you know, when you're an artist, you have like your creative mind, right? Some people have like already everything planned out in the head. Like when they listen to music, then they have like a kind of image in their head, you know, like say like their own music video in their head, you know, on like to the song, but they're never gonna draw that, something like that, or they never can draw it. Let's say I have like something like that popping in my mind, and I want to draw that, and then I'm like, your skill level is too low, Tosan. But I'd be like, no, I can do that. I'm gonna do that with this handicap of my skill level. I can show everyone that I'm like great. Then yeah, I draw for hours, then I'm still too bad to like actually like, you know, pull it off. And then I'm getting like kinda burnt out because I spent too much time on that, too much of my energy, and then yeah. So like my art progress back then was like pretty sporadic, thanks to that. Nowadays I don't really care much about my quality. If it like ends up to be done, okay, cool, you know. And it's always like a hit or miss, like with algorithm. And like if actually the VTuber I draw fan art of is like actually looking at the hashtags. Let's say like some artwork I spent like a lot of time on to make it like really good. Got maybe like only like 5 likes. And something I did moderate work, like just normal amount of like effort and like everything, or like something where I like put the least effort, it got like, it was like the most popular, you know. So yeah, it would be like cool if you put like your 100% in everything, you know, to like S plus, you know, rank, but things fluctuate, you know. Things are like fluctuating. They're never like in a chart, you know, like in a chart. It's never like always at the top. It always like fluctuates, like up, down, up, down. Sometimes you have like your lucky day. Sometimes not. It doesn't align always. Like the day where you like can draw perfectly, the hour where you can draw perfectly, like the time, you know, where it like pops off, doesn't align always. But if it happens, cool. But on the most part, it's like always, it's like slow. And I think like slow is okay. Like at least it's just consistent, you know? And it's like, in a sense where you can like see the progress bit by bit instead of like, boom, all of a sudden you get like 1000% when your concurrent like followers or whatever, you know? When you don't really know what was that, you know, what is because of this picture, and let's try to recreate the success, and then it's not that actually, you know, just like pure luck. And then it's just like try to be consistent from there on. Like if you get momentum, ride on it, something like that. It's like something I learned like from FGC, like Smash Bros competition. Like when you get momentum, then use it to your advantage, but don't overextend, you know? As things can like go back, it can backfire. Like awfully enough for me, like things fired back when I like try to like overextend and everything and like milk it out more. But you should be like humble, you know, like with what you have already, you know. Don't go too far, you know. Just be happy with what you already have, you know. And if you can replicate it, cool, you know. But other than that, let's say consistent, you know. But to be honest, like algorithm doesn't really work anymore nowadays, like with like X. Back in the days it did. Nowadays it's like, oh, about pay to win. Like if you have Twitter Blue, you know. Of course you can get the checkmark, you know, in other ways. Let's say you're like a pretty famous guy, famous person, that you have in your own Wikipedia like entry, something like that. And then things can be arranged. But there's also the pay to win. Twitter Blue. It's like weird. The site is called X, you know? But if you do like the pay to win, it's gonna turn to the blue bird again. But death, you know? Just keep it as a bird, you know? Oh, a little bird tweeted it to me. A little bird told me that info, you know, like a tweet, you know, but now you can't do the joke really anymore. It's like, I saw it in a post. I saw a repost about that on X. You can't really do like the bird tweeting jokes anymore, you know. Little bird told me. It was like the best. It was like the best layout. It had like the best logo and everything. It all got thrown away like for some fancy a letter and alphabet. Wasted potential. But the good thing is, like, when people do mistakes, you can learn from those mistakes. So this is like a boy with like black hair, with like some black highlights in there. Depending on the art style, it will look like really fantastic. Like unlike whatever the fan artist is like doing there. It will be my first time drawing him, you know, but let's see. Usually when redheads, I do remember like are usually like good looking. Have I ever drawn a redhead? Let me think. I drew one. Indie VTuber. I drew Elizabeth, right, I did draw Herb. Okay, that's two. Ah, Gerard, I also drew Gerard, right. So that's three. Ah, Miyabi, Holostars, Japan. The very fast Holostars. Okay, 4. Axel's not really a redhead, right? It's like blonde and red. 4.5. Sakura Miko's not redhead. Not really. Ollie, maybe? And it's not 4.5, it's like 5 now. Ollie, yeah. Ooh. I think that's all. Unless they did some fanarts of anime characters. Unless... No, I don't think so, I don't think so. Yeah, there are quite a few I've drawn. And I always like remember, yeah, it looks somewhat attractive. But usually when I think about redheads, it's not like those I have drawn. Like, I mostly like things like, okay, Aries from Mushoku Tensei. Anime girls who are like wielding a sword, you know? Shakugan no Shana, things like that. Oh gosh. But yeah, red-haired. Like recently, I continued watching ReZero, so I can think about Reinhard, the Austria family. But yeah, there's the thing about red-haired characters that often, like when I think about red-haired characters, anime, that they all wield a sword or whatever. But yeah, you can. It's like just a good kind of like sentence, you know. Oh, the sword fighter with the flaming red hair, you know, something like that. Flaming red hair. They could like control the fire. Like things that leave an impression, just like that. Eh. But yeah, while I talk like sometimes about Flayon's streams in his debut, I do remember him also as like the one who is like a voice enthusiast, you know? Or maybe not much of an enthusiast, he's not that much. But he talked like about that he likes voice works, that he is like something of a wannabe voice actor, you know? Something like that. I saw him like following like games that have like English voice actors, you know, like things like Reverse 1999. I remember Shinri played it for quite a while too. I remember like him talking about it, but at some point he also stopped because it took so much time away. Like gacha games, they take like a lot of your time. It's like really draining. Not sure like about Flayon. I only like saw that he followed it, you know, but never talked about it. At least I didn't watch any streams where he talked about it. But yeah, if you have more insight, yeah. Also like cool if I know if I know about it too. It's like trivia. It's always like trivia. But yeah, why not like broaden the knowledge? Let me think about this one. I think I'm gonna give it the magnifying glass. A similar color palette to like what he's wearing. That doesn't stand out too much. We're gonna do like the thing inside of it later. Some like work with like, you know, that they like make things inside it like a lot larger. It's like kind of funny, those kind of effects. But I think like I do not wanna spend time on doing that effect. Me lazy. But yeah, I do know Maki, he retweets a lot of art, a lot of fan art. I'm not sure like if he retweets every single one, you know. The thing is like back then on Twitter, with likes are visible. You could like see what the user has liked. Unless they have like Twitter Blue, you know, like the checkmark and everything. When I could like disable that to the public. I think like since then, you know, since likes were like invisible now, he retweets a lot. But I'm not sure if like every single fan art. No, I see like 4 or 5, like 2 handful like about that. I'm not like sure, is it all of it? Or is he only like picking like a few he likes, you know? Like what a lot of artists, not a lot of VTubers like do, that they like post like their favorite ones, like repost their favorite ones. Like repost, like retweeting, you know? Not like reposting it without like crediting the artist. It's like kind of like weird now that it's like called X, you know? You don't have like the lingo of like, it's like not, it's like really like the meaning. It lost its meaning like pretty much, you know. Like you still understand it, but now that the names are like different, it's like so you know. Limiting of vocab. I do it roughly here. I think this is gonna be one of the weaker artworks I've ever did. I had like not much of an idea like with drawing Flayon, you know. But I can like add something more to it to like give it more expressive power. More expressiveness. I have to like work with like manga effects. Things I like now from drawing manga. And he's like taking manga drawing as a basis, you know, since I got like inspired with drawing like via Dragon Ball, like via manga. Like from Toriyama Sensei, he has like is also like his kind of guidebook, you know, like how to draw manga, his own kind of thing. And there I also like learned quite a few things there, like how to make things like stand more out. No, I like have to work on line weight as well, but for the most part, you know, it's gonna be also like the stuff with like that comes inside and everything. Gonna work a little bit on line weights before I do like more of the magnifying glass and the shadows and everything, details, you know. He has pretty nice hair, like a nice pony, like the way like his hair's like falling, like not at my art, but like looking at his original, looking at the reference. I would have loved to see more sketchy, you know, kind of art in the reference sheet. Like see more sketches, you know, but they kept like everything very professional. That everything looks like polished. Which is like commendable. But you know, like when I know how the finished product looks like, I do want to see like what they cooked before, like some kind of art book that can like show, oh, those were the previous designs, and those were like some of the decisions, and they like artist comments, you know, like things like that. That would be super interesting. Like if they do something like that, for Blue Archive art book like this exists, you know, like that you can buy, like part 1, part 2. I think that part 3 is gonna come out. I don't know, that was not announced yet, I think. And I think like the next anniversary in Blue Archive will do that. But yeah, you know, like those kind of art books would be like pretty cool. Like to see like the work and thought process of like the artists who designed the VTubers, you know. And maybe like, you know, they could like disclose more information on like if even management had like a say in it, you know, if they had like an idea about for a theme, and then if they also like had like something there. I know like from some of the Holostar boys talked about their managers, you know, like Toramane, Shikamane, you know, like their managers, and like Axel's mascots or like fan base, the Axolotls, get it? They were like drawn by someone in management, like the design for them. So it could make sense that like management is involved. And I would like to see also what they have drawn. Like in art, the designing and like the cooking. This is like the most insightful, interesting for me whenever I look like at character designs and like do fan art, you know. I do want to see more. This would sell. This would sell. No, I don't need I do not need merch which is like a voice pack or like acrylic stands or like, you know, plushies. I need information. Can we have something like that, please? You know. Like having a book merch for once, you know. It's a reasonable price, you know. The art book for Blue Archive was like about 30 bucks, like 3,500 or like 4,500 yen. No, I think it was like about 30 bucks, yeah. 30 bucks was like makes more sense. Like this was like pretty reasonable price. But when you look at like the whole life merch, you know, slightly overpriced. I mean, it makes sense, you know. I do like buy them regardless. I think like, no, it's not like overpriced. Let's say like acrylic stands, you know. 1,500 yen. Or 2,000 yen. And there comes like the voice pack. And there comes like more and more of the extras. Like keychains and stuff. Okay, keychains are expensive there. But if you buy the full set, it's like 8,000 yen or something. Or like 10,000 yen. Chuma yen. So like 80 bucks to 100 bucks. Something like that. 70 bucks to, yeah, 90 bucks. Something like that. But then there comes the shipping. Yeah, I think like the US pros have like a lot of a harder time, you know. I saw like that they wanted to like purchase like Furamoko's merch, you know. It was like originally like around 70 bucks, you know, 90 bucks, and then there comes like the customs and then it cost them like 200 bucks or something, like more than double the price. And yeah, I think I can't afford whole life anymore. I'm sorry, you know, something like that. I'm like in Europe, so it's like less of a pain for me, but I also have to check if I like Ina's birthday 3D stream was like recently, and I consider like buying merch there too, and like no, like Ina the hero, like this thing like was there as the program. But I'm not sure, can I purchase without paying too much? Like, I think it's cool that they like now can send your merch, like they open like more regions, you know. They also have like a headquarters somewhere in the US, you know. That makes like a little bit easier. But man, but I do like what I do like that you're like not forced to like buy merch. But it's like a limited item, you know. Japanese dread of like the FOMO trigger. And I also like remember like one guy in Iris chats, you know. Pretty good salesman if he would like start to do like business. He said something along the lines of like, the product is limited. If it's gone forever. But money you can always earn back. Just buy. Even if you're gonna go in debt, you can just like work earn the money back. Nothing like that exactly, but like in a sense, you know, when you lose the merch, the opportunity to buy the merch, the opportunity is like lost forever. If you spend money, it's not lost forever because you can just earn it back, just work, you know, something like that. Something along the lines of that, like one of the enjoyers from aristocrats, you know, yeah, aristocrats, that's how they're called, said something like that. And kind of like, yeah, even if it's like super expensive, just buy it, you know. But at the same time, you are not forced to like buy the merch. You can support this talent still in a different way. Like you can leave a subscribe, you can leave a thumbs up, you know, comment. You can even like be in chat and like interact there, you know, like be part of the voices, you know. And yeah, this is also like good enough, you know. You can even lurk, that's like fine, just boost the numbers. And to be honest, I'm a lurker. I'm a lurker. But there are like times when I also like chat. I also like when there are like this charity streams like for Army. I participate in all of them. When I also was like, had that chance to like type something, you know. Yeah. But I'm usually not a yapper in like chats. Usually not. And X-Raga, welcome to the art stream. And try Machina, X-Flayon from Holostars, Tempus. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, I usually don't yap that much and when I'm like tuning into other people's stream. I'm just lurking. If I, for example, were to raid, I'm also like gonna peace out or like lurk, you know, shortly after. And to be honest, I do not have really a reason to raid. Because I do not receive reasons, you know. For the most part, let's say I do not have any streamer friends. Sometimes people rate me, and I do like the honor, rate them back one time, you know. One hand washes another. But yeah, and I paid them back, right? One time. They did it one time to me, I paid one time back. And I then stopped there, if nothing else will happen. It's like mostly how it goes. And sometimes I just like rate with one viewer, that's me. That's it. That's like the thing, for the most part. I can't give back too much. But I don't see like as a problem, you know? It's just like, yeah, I don't have a reason to do that. There's not much to do. I think like during the first year and second year of my streaming, where I was like mainly on Twitch, I did do that, but I didn't really like the idea since I was like more into the YouTube bias, you know. I like the system of YouTube a lot more and like what I had to experience in like Twitch. But I still did Twitch because I saw it as a training arc, to like start off there first. And once I'm like ready, go to YouTube, you know, something like that. Yeah, I think this makes sense. Why I did it like that. Of course, I still have like some people who like watch from the Twitch side. And they're like people who only watch on Twitch and some only on YouTube, you know. So yeah, kinda have so we're like, why not, you know? I sometimes see the arguments, yeah, just stick to one. But at the same time, you know, they're like people who only like watch on one platform. The emotes are like pretty cool, you know. You can it's not only like emotes from one channel, you know, like in YouTube. You can like use some other channels where you have like left a subscription. Yeah, where you left a subscription. And you can use this too. Depending on like how big the streamer is, how many followers, the more slots they have, something like that. You can also get gifted there, if it's like cool, or you can use that for the other thing too. Then you have a lot of like response potential with just emotes alone. There was like a funny thing on like emotes only chat. I think YouTube has that now too, yeah. But man, I'm really free to play. I'm really free to play if it comes to like 2 emotes gaming. Oh man. I have a good amount of self-control, I notice. Usually, you know, in psychology, when you place things nearby yourself, you're like more inclined to like grab onto those things and do something with them. If it's like a consumable, it's more likely you're gonna eat it. But if you put it outside of your range, we actually have to like sit and up to get it, you know, like on the other side of the room, then there's like a lot more restraint in like doing that. Let's say an apple, you know, a banana. Usually like the trick is like for people, you know, like if they want to like lose weight, but they're always like eating sweets, fat food, you know, they have always the snacks somewhere around where it's like in range to like be grabbed and like, you know, and then like consumed. The trick is like to swap it like and like something healthy, you know, or like just put them out of the range like those snacks. I had like something similar there in front of me, like of a snack, but since I'm like focused on drawing, I don't pay it any attention. So I have like, yeah, I guess like this kind of like balances out. What did I wanted to do? I forgot. Ah yes. Nah, this is not good. I'm gonna do the magnifying glass at the end, I would say. Alongside with other things to like make it a better image. For now it has like maybe potential to be used somewhere. Because it's like simplistic and PNG something like in a thumbnail potential. Maybe if he's gonna play some mystery visual novel like Danganronpa or whatever, then you have to be the smart guy. And the thing with the magnifying glass thing, like a detective, you know, is like pretty much one of the best choices. I at least like did something similar like that when I played like a story-driven game. But it was not really much about being smart as or whatever, it's just like emotional storytelling. And it's just like you're reacting to it. Like To the Moon was my case. This was like where I'd like to draw like a beam with a magnifying glass. But yeah, did I do that for Ami ever? Maybe not in a chibi. I always like when she was like bigger. I mean, I like enough magnifying glass artworks of like Ami because she's a detective, you know. But I do like the kind of vibes of like those big heads. Maybe because like I do like Toho pretty much. That I like include like something as a head. Like in any kind of design I nowadays do, like original design. I try to make sure there's at least like something on the head, you know? Maybe like a accessory, you know, glasses, like a hat, cat ears, you know, whatever, you know? Like even like a really big antenna. But usually I don't draw antennas. Like for my case it's like headphones, but to be honest I don't stand much out, but at least something I'm not gonna die. Like the meme was like, okay, if you're gonna try to a character, tell them always have a head accessory or they're gonna die. This was like kind of the meme. But there are some who don't have like a head accessory. There are some like actually never mind. There was like Kaguya. Horizon Kaguya. She has no head decoration at all. And it was like, she's gonna die, but to be honest, she can't. She's immortal. So she's like an exception there. Cause so. So yeah, but real fun if you draw a Toho character. Don't forget the head accessory. They always have something there. But I think like, yeah, I do know like about Toho for a while. I always played the fan games. But I think like what put me actually in was like Hata no Kokoro. There was like a pink-haired girl there that has like it's like based on the like how it's called. It's not mythology, urban legends, with like the Noh masks. They're like, you know, those masks for like the Japanese masks, Noh masks for like happiness, for anger, like for emotions, you know. They like represent themselves like animals. There's like the fool's mask, there's the Oni mask, there's the kitsune mask, the fox mask, you know. Those represent like emotions, and I really like dig that design on like Hata no Kokoro, you know. It's just like a little girl, you know, but she has no emotions. The only way she like shows that is like via those masks that like swapping automatically depending on her mood. While her whole face expression game, gestures and stuff, like at least like face wise, is like so stiff. She has like body language and she has like those masks. Maybe I like her voice if she gets voice acted. But it's like a like the official games have no voice acting. But when I saw like the interpretations of like some fans, you know, with like the voice acting, it was like kind of interesting, I must say. But I really dig the design. And the masks, by the way, were like glowing in like they had like aura, you know? It was just like the aura that like Kokoro's aura that like that has like pulled me in. Hey yo, the aura. It's like not the character, the wisdom, anything. It like pulled me afterwards in, you know? Like it like not put like no. The aura pulled me in. But then after I like tried to find more reason to like her, you know, and saw like all the character, the setting and everything, then she like restrained me there. Like I wait encore after that, you know. I think it's like for a lot of people the case. They see like cute girl, you know, good character design and be like, let's go, I'm in. And if they actually start to read and experience more, learn more about the character, it's like, holy crap, I love this character, you know? Something like that. But sometimes the illusion gets shattered as well. My headcanon was this, that's not like what I imagined. I like my version better, you know, when they start to do fanfics or whatever. But for the most part, yeah, if I get curious, you know, because the, you know, the cover of the book looks like great, I do like want to explore its content. And if I start to vibe with it, cool, you know? If not, it's also like, okay, you know? And at least I can see good fan art of this character, be like, oh yeah, I'm eating good today. Something like that. Not explaining what context I'm gonna enjoy myself. Do you know like this? You know, like it's similar to like this the subtitle to like Zisaku, you know? It has like this fish, you know? I mean, the subtitle was like, I'm gonna pleasure myself with this fish. You know, something like that. Something like that. It's like the same sentiment there. For me, when I see like good fan art of like the character, I do like vibe with his appearance. Not gonna explain exactly why, in what way, but man, we all have our degenerate sides. And I don't know why I started to talk about this, but Flayon is like pretty much the character who's like pretty honest. He starts like to talk with this cute voice, be like, yeah, hello, I'm Machina X Flayon. I don't know like how his voice exactly goes, but he sounds like usually pretty cute. Because he also has like this cute boy kind of appearance, you know? Like boy, not cute man, you know? Like in this kind of sense. Even like with the butler outfit, you know? It's supposed to make you like look dapper and everything. But he looks still cute. If he put this is like removing his jacket, you know, and then garter belt and everything, looks nice. I do want to wear a suit too, to be honest. Maybe I should like draw myself in like a suit, but it's not gonna look good, to be honest. Maybe if I'm gonna be like Big Tosan, you know, like the profile picture. Big Tosan. When I like release my power limits and everything. I can draw good faces. I can draw myself really well. But if it's chibi, then yeah. Of course I can draw everyone good. Not only myself. Oh yeah, I forgot to draw the thing with the magnifying glass, like the inside there. Let's do that. Okay, it does not work how I want it to work. Huh, doesn't work. How about this? Yeah. Something like this. I have to be a little bit careful, like what I cover and what not. Let's see about this. There. The handwriting digitally is not that great. I can work with it though. Can work with it a little bit. But yeah, it's like solid, I think. It's solid enough. You have a little bit of emote potential with that. But it's like not, it's like one of my weaker works, I have to like say. It's not that expressive, but it's like solid enough. It's like not garbage, but it's like okay, you know? Alright, that's all for today. I drew today Machina x Flayon from Holostars Tempus in his casual outfit. That's gonna... how long was I in? More than 2 hours. But it's like, it's a good 2 hours. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. With that, I'm gonna say, have a nice rest of the day, evening, a good night, whatever time zone the world you all are. That I'm gonna say, bye bye.